Hi everybody, it's Carrie. I am going to do a tutorial today on the rosettes that I had posted last night because I had questions about them and I said I would do a tutorial. These are very easy to make and you don't need a lot of supplies. You will need cupcake liners. You can use little ones, the mini ones, or you can use the full-size liners. If you use the full-size liners and you're using the decorated ones that have the pictures on the bottom, I like to save these and I'll show you how I do that. You need glue. I like tacky glue. You need some form of scissors. I like small, pointy, precision tip scissors. You will need a punch to punch a 1 to 1.5 inch circle. I just used brown craft card stock. And I pre-punched them because I don't think you guys need to see me punch those. If you're going to use buttons for your center and you have the ones with the shanks on them, you will need to have a tool to remove the shanks. And you just go in, squeeze, and ta-da, the shank comes right off, and then you have a flat. You can also do something like a flat pack jewel. I had done some last night with pom-poms on them. You can use like the Tim Holtz gumdrops. So there's anything you can use to put in the center that you want. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do one of the large ones first. So when I have these like this, I like just to pinch a little spot, make a little nip, open it back up, and then I just cut around because I like to save these little pictures to use for other things. Let's set that aside. Okay. Now, then I take this, flip it inside out, fold it in half, fold it in half again, and then I just take it and I scrunch it up to kind of reinforce the folds. Okay. Then you will need one of your little cardstock punch circles and a little bit of glue. Now you don't need a whole lot of glue. You need enough for it to stick down on, but you don't want way too much. So I just kind of lightly get my whole little circle covered. Okay. Then take your paper, kind of unfurl it. And then just kind of take it and kind of scrunch it so you're pushing the middle together. And then while you're doing that, sit it down on your cardstock square, kind of push down. Then I flip it over, and then what I do from the underside, I kind of push everything together in the middle so that it's all, you know, here like this in the middle. But then, like, I check the back and I look at that and go, oh, that's not even. So then, while the glue is still damp, I will slide that little circle around so that I get it fairly centered on the back. And the front is there. Okay, then I decide what I want for the center. So for this one, I am going to use one of my little buttons. So I've already taken the shank off because I showed you that at the beginning. I come in with my tacky glue and just kind of coat the little button like so. Take it, center it, press it down, hold it for a moment or two, kind of make sure it's secure, set it off to the side to dry. And that is with a full size. Now, this is a small one, and it's also one where the bottom is not a separate picture. So with those, I just take those, fold it in on itself like that. Take my scissors, cut it. And even though I'm doing that, I do save this little piece here because if I go and I decide to make this into a paper clip or something like that, I will take this and cut it into a 1-inch circle to go on the back. I'll show you that later. Anyway, same thing, flip, fold, fold, kind of scrunch. And even though this is a smaller cupcake liner, you could punch a smaller circle. I don't. I still use the 1-inch. Get my glue. Same thing. Kind of scrunch it in the middle. Take it. Push it down. Then I turn it over. I see that it's not really centered. I use my fingers just to slide it around a little bit while the glue is wet, till I'm happy that I have it fairly centered. Push down, push down. Okay, so on this one, I could use a button, which I did last night. I did almost all of mine with buttons. But instead, I'm going to use this little flat back jewel. And just, come on, tacky glue. Of course, yeah, see, I didn't want to get too much. Okay. Tacky glue. Same thing. Place it in the center. Press it down. Having some kind of baby wipe or something is probably a good idea. Hold it for a moment. Set it aside. Now, I'm also going to show you how to do this, which is a double rosette. I hadn't made any of these last night, or I didn't have any pictures of any, but I'm going to show you how to do that while I'm doing this. So it's relatively simple. You need the cardstock circle. You'll need one of the large cupcake liners that you've cut the bottom out and squished up, and you'll need a small one. Same thing. So what I do here, if I can get my glue to cooperate, is I get the glue on my circle. You take your big cupcake liner, open it up, but instead I'm not going to squish the whole center together. I'm just going to kind of take it and place it down on the more outer edges of my little circle. And this does take a little bit more pressing in with your fingers, so you're going to get probably glue on your fingers doing it. But here again, because I still like to basically have it centered, I kind of flip the back over and look to see where I'm at. And then just kind of press it down. Then I come back in and I put a little bit of glue just on the edges and a little bit more there in the center. Then I take my small one, open it up, take it, kind of push it, pinch all my little centerpiece together. Take it, get it right in here, kind of make sure that I'm centering it onto the big one. Push it down in the middle. And just kind of squish it in there good. And then I decide what I'm going to use. And I think for this one, I'm going to use this gold button that I already removed the shank off of. Put my glue on it. Take it, plop it in the center. Press it down. Hold it for a little bit. Some of the glue leaks out. The tacky glue dries clear, so I don't worry about it. I just press it down, let it go. But anyway, then what you have is you have the double. So this double I had done, I had used one of the flat backs. And then this one here, I'm using a button. Now, once you make all these little beauties, you can use them. You can put them on to Christmas cards if you're making Christmas cards, tags, whatever. You can also take them and make altered paper clips, which I have a couple that I did. Yes. Okay. So here's a big one that I did. Put a paper clip. So what I do when I do that is I flip it over. I put glue onto the back of the cardstock. I add my paper clip, and then I take a piece of this that I saved. I put my little circle on it, line it up, and then I trim off the excess. And put glue on, stick it down, and press it down in between the pieces of the thing. So that's a big one. And same thing if I do the little one. And that's how I make my little rosettes. They're very easy. They're cheap. You can get cupcake liners anywhere. You can get them at Dollar Tree, Michael's, anywhere you want to get them. They're fun, they're easy, they're quick. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message.